Hi everyone, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on Master Ninja difficulty with advanced tactics. This is the 6th chapter. It's entitled the Aqua Capital. So once again we're fighting as Ryu, and it's always refreshing to come back to Ryu after having played around as one of the female protagonists. So we are in this Florence-like level here in this European setting, and we're dealing with beastmen here. Or if you want to call them lycanthropes, that's what they're also called. Because the next chapter will be called the Lycanthrope's Castle. Although the one oddity about this game is that once we get inside the Wolf's Castle, we're going to be facing lesser fiends, the Shadow / Flare demons. But in Ninja Gaiden 2, his castle was filled with the more realistically placed beastmen, these guys here, the lycanthropes. And I like that because they're a great source of money. They give you 1,400 per UT kill, so always try to strive to get a UT kill on these guys. It's not cheap. It's actually really smart to try to get a lot of money on these guys. All these guys that I'm fighting right here, it's 1,400 per UT kill. But I did kind of miss the flare demons when I was playing Ninja Gaiden 2. But also, the water demons or the blood gahas, they're not over here either, like they are in Ninja Gaiden 2. I mean, they're not in this exact area. We are going to be facing 3 of them presently, before the area where in Ninja Gaiden 2 we got the Gatling spear gun. But I swore they were over here in this area where the chest is containing the red orbs. But once again, I also thought that the Kasurigama was over here too, but it's not. And we're finally going to be able to get the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang up ahead. So you may be noticing that I'm using UTs quite a lot over here, and that's pretty much how I like to handle the beastmen, because if they trot on you or stomp on you with their pounce, you're automatically dead. And it gets a little irritating sometimes, especially with those gold Van Gelfs. Just one touch and you're dead. It's so sensitive about dying. But what I'm gonna do is, you notice I bypassed a shop of Marimasa's that was glowing blue. So that's an indication that it's an upgrade. It's an upgradable shop. So you can visit the blacksmith's portion of the shop. So what I'm gonna do is go over to the save point, and before that grab my Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, which I've been waiting to use for the longest time. Save my progress, and then I'm going to go back, having equipped this, and then I'm going to upgrade this to level 2. Ordinarily I would upgrade the Enma's Fang, but I don't really care for that weapon anymore, to tell you the truth. It's got some minor function in this game. I mean, it does come in handy when you want to, like on the boss for this level, I would use UTs on the boss, but it's not like I don't have the weapon, so I could still use it even though I don't have to upgrade it. So here's the area where I thought that the water demons were, and I know they're also called blood gajas, but in this game there's a lot of names for the enemies, and the bestiary is far from definitive. And this level is not really one of my favorites. It's a beautiful looking level, and it's a nice, it's a nice brightly lit area. But I like the next level a little bit better. So we're going to be facing some more lycanthropes up ahead. So definitely save your progress. We're going to go up here, and I'm going to start charging attacks. It's mainly to get money. That's always the way it is here, and I feel that the best weapon to deal with these guys as far as the UT is this weapon here, because you can aim your UT and it'll target other lycanthropes in the vicinity. So there aren't many lycanthropes here, to tell you the brutal truth, and that just goes back once again to the game design choices of this game. Because I get killed a lot more in this game than I do in Ninja Gaiden 2. And the reason for that's obvious. I mean, you just take, one hit of those little, if those gold Vangelfs even touch you, you're dead. It's so sensitive. And I was also expecting to deal with some IS ninjas over here, and sometimes I'm just walking around these environments and I'm wanting to fight enemies, and they're just not here the way they were in the you know, the original game. And that's probably good for a beginner to go through some of these levels and not have to be overcome with enemies. Because I would say that if you've never played either one of these games, you should probably play this game first, because then Ninja Gaiden 2 won't be such a huge ordeal when you first try it. So what happened right there is that guy, he went off the rail and drowned, so you don't get any credit for the kill. Although I think I might have gotten an orb. Let me see, one orb. Yeah, I think I did get credit for that kill. It wasn't. It was definitely not the 1400 though. So that right there was, I think, 2500 for an item. And here is the Spirit of the Devils. And I do want to say one thing. I'll wait till we do this battle here. But obviously, as you can see right there, you can't save those. Once you pick them up, the game auto uses them for you. So we can Azuna drop these blood gajas. You can get your iframes via the wind path off of their heads. You can parry their attacks. I think I get a successful parry over here. The bizarre thing about these games, or excuse me, the damage you receive from these guys is not as much as Ninja Gaiden 2. It's just because in Ninja Gaiden 2, these guys were the hardest enemies for me. See right there, that tail slash right there in Ninja Gaiden 2 would have almost killed me. I would have just a very small sliver of health from that tail slash. And that's why these guys were the hardest enemy for me in Ninja Gaiden 2. And it's kind of bizarre because you do take more damage in this game around the board, but not in that particular enemy. But the thing I did want to mention was in Ninja Gaiden 2, when I was doing my guide, I told you guys that you can't equip and unequip the Talisman of Rebirth, and I was completely wrong. I mean, I knew you could do it I knew you could do it in Ninja Gaiden 2, but I did not know that you could do it in this game. It was just one of those things. I've never really experimented with this game enough, and I think the reason I thought that was because I think the Talisman of Rebirth, it comes unequipped, and you have to equip it. And then that's how I realized it. But you can definitely unequip the Talisman of Rebirth if you don't want to use it in this game too. You think you know a game, and then you keep learning about it. It's a never-ending learning process, and it's awesome. This game kicks ass. Truly does kick ass. So we're going to go into this area now, save it up, and we're going to get the Piercing Void. So you will want to focus on upgrading this, but I will show you my upgrade path. If not within the video, if I happen to miss the application of it, I'll definitely inform you guys of what I've done. And so far all I've done is upgrade the Inferno and this right here to level 2. So I've got the Wind Blades up to level 2 as well as the Inferno. So these Vangelfs here, I'm almost dead, but I'm not going to heal. I don't think I've healed hardly. I might have healed like once or twice so far in this game. So far. And that just goes to show you could really stretch out these save statues, like right here. Plus, it auto heals you a little bit too. Every time you finish a battle, it fills you up less the critical hits you've taken. Your mortal wounds, those being the red area on your health bar. And it was a really an intuitive design choice, and it was really creative, and they actually really highlight that on the box for these games, that it was a really sophisticated choice to do that, because it never, you wouldn't even get healed at a statue in the other Ninja Gaiden games in Sigma. So I thought there was something to the left, but what I was looking for there were arrows that exist in the other game. So these are the lycanthropes with more HP, and also I was gonna say too that in this version anyone who's delimbed, the guys they don't throw body parts. So that's really annoying when you're trying to charge attacks and you get a piece of torso or an arm or a foot thrown at you when you're trying to charge an attack. And I guess it's inevitable for me to compare the two games. I said I wouldn't do it early. I think in Chapter 3 I said I wouldn't do it, but I'm sorry, I cannot help it. But I hope it's informative. I need to lower the sensitivity here. You see how bad I am here with my sensitivity so high. But this guide has been really fun to make, and I'm only on Chapter 6. There's a lot of chapters left, but it just feels like I don't have to talk strategy every second, and it feels like I could be a little bit more myself, talking about the game and my experiences with it. Every battle I do try my best to tell you guys what to do, so it's awesome. I think this guide is going to be very successful. So you get a free run over here on Ninja Gaiden 2. You would have, this place would be full of blood gouges and those water mines that they took out of this game, which were such a nuisance. So, in a lot of respects, they really cleaned up this game and made it more playable and less cheap. But you know, those one-hit grab kills and stuff like that, I guess we have to just deal with them. And hell, some people might like to get damaged that much. Oh, so I also forgot to mention that we're one Life of the Gods away from upgrading. So over here, this is the Lives of the 1,000 Gods, so we're going to get an upgrade. It does fill you up, but it only fills you up less your critical wounds, so I thought that was kind of interesting. I think the Life of the Gods might fill you up all the way, but I'm not going to stake money on that. Incidentally, if you fall down, you can just climb up the ladder. It's not anything you have to reload the checkpoint for. So, 4 more, my bad. Four more guys. You can tell these guys are like in a pack, and that brown guy is the pack leader. So, when you're coming off the UT, make sure you wind path off the nearest foe too, to get your iframes. And then we're going to go over here and save it now. So this next fight coming up is versus some blood gouges, and it's probably, the enemy count's probably about a third of what it is on Ninja Gaiden 2. That is to say, we probably have 10 guys here, whereas in Ninja Gaiden 2, I think there were 30. So I did want to correct something that I said incorrectly in probably 2 videos. I know I said it during the boss battle versus Gigadeath, and I was saying that you cannot do the 360 lunar attacks with the UTs and the ETs, and I was completely wrong. And I want to apologize, because if there's one thing I don't like to do, it's to spread misinformation and start confusing people, because you know, it's already confusing enough with so much conflicting data on the internet. But one of my subscribers brought it to my attention, and I'm very grateful for the clarification. And it's my fault for not looking into the moves list and making an assumption. But you can, if you're using the lunar, you can do the 360 attacks with it. So you just rotate the left analog stick 360 degrees, starting from any starting point and ending at the same point you start. The one thing I'm not certain of is like what tier of strength it needs to be at. Whether it's, because I can do it, but I have my lunar up to level 2, and the only thing I'm uncertain about is whether you can do it with the first strength of that particular weapon. I imagine you can, because they start you out with the Dragon Sword, and you can start using, you can start doing Azuna drops in the very first fight in the game. So this Jewel of the Demon Seal I'm going to apply to the Art of the Piercing Void. So everything save for the Art of the Flame Phoenix is up to level 2. So that's that. We have one more Life of the Gods that we're going to be getting prior to the boss fight, so stock up on supplies. We're going to be facing some Gold Van Gelfs and some more Lycanthropes coming up. So if I had known that I could do this 360, I would have definitely been using that attack on the blood gouges, because it's a great move. Plus, when you're tapping Y, I haven't tested this, but I think you can also do, when you're doing the 360 attack with the lunar, it's UT, not the ET. You could combine that attack with the Izuna drop. So he'll end up doing an Izuna drop. But if it's like in Ninja Gaiden 2, it doesn't always happen. It's random. So that's that. And look forward to seeing me demonstrate it, because I love that move. It's a great move, and it makes the Lunar a lot funner to use. So we're in the wine cellar now, and I think I dispatched the main enemies in this room. Just be very wary around this part of the, this neck of the woods here. I don't know if you have to pick up this Howling Cannon, but I never use this thing. It's completely useless in my opinion. Right here, I heard voices. I heard growls behind me, so I thought there were more guys. And sometimes you will get more guys, because a lot of times in these games the scripting doesn't work too well, and sometimes you get no-shows, and that's not good if you're trying to get a lot of points, karma, whatnot. And I was even, see, I thought there were more enemies. There might have been, but I didn't get any. So we got some money right there. I think that is a rather lucrative chest. That might be 5,000 in essence. So surprisingly, there's no more enemies that spawn. So make sure you stock up on supplies if you want to. We're going to be getting another Talisman of Rebirth. We're going to get to a save point pretty soon. And if you're struggling with the boss, you're going to want to use UTs with the Enma's Fang. And if you really are struggling, you want to upgrade that thing to level 2, so you don't have to have too much stamina during the battle. But I knew that if I had to use that weapon, I would be fine with it at level 1. And I was. And I'm going to use that weapon on the boss. So save it over here. And now I'm going to switch to my Vigorian Flail. What I like to do here is take one of these guys out and then try to get a UT, but all I could get there was an ET. So grab them and go for a UT. This is just to get more money. If you need things like health or Nimpo, just do regular attacks with the flails. And see right here, I needed a little bit of health because I wanted that chest below to give me money and not a little pittance of health. So I made sure that these guys gave me health orbs, so that when I jumped down there, the box would give me money because I have all my items maxed out. So that gave me, I think it's 2,500, however much those run at Muramasa's shop. So to go a little faster in the water, I'm going to press the triangle button in a second. I think I do. I better do it, damn it all. Maybe not right yet, but I will. I think I do it. So some people can get lost in here. Just be thankful there's no fish all around like there is in the original game. Over here, this box has a grains of spiritual life, but since I have my items maxed out and my health is full, I get the money. And over to the left is going to be either however many orbs you need, it'll give you Nimpa orbs. So if you however many you lack, there we go, I'm doing triangle button. However many you lack, it'll give it to you. If you have all your items maxed out for the Devil's White Mushrooms and you have all the flames in your key gauge filled out, then you'll just get money. I think that'll be, 3,000? I'm not really sure about the monetary figures. I don't do much shopping these days because I'm not healing too much. But okay, from this vantage point, there's one more. Actually, there's two more items. So what I decided to do was just stick out the fight with the boss and not use a Talisman of Rebirth and make more money that way. I made 50,000 on the boss for not using a Talisman of Rebirth. So this one here, this Life of the Gods, this is number 9 of 18. So that's a complete set right there. And now we're going to be looking for another complete set coming up. So there's 9 more left in the game. Over here is the second Talisman of Rebirth on this stage, but since I already have one, this chest is going to give me 50,000 in essence. And also, if you refrain from using your Talisman of Rebirth, there is another Talisman of Rebirth up on the upper ramparts of this water sanctuary in the next chapter once you clear the boss. So you could potentially make 100,000 in essence. So I'm going to make even more money. I'll have close to 200,000 in essence. So run over here. And you notice now some ghost fish have populated the area. We're going to want to stay on the platform over here. And I'm really glad that they fixed this up too, because this was a problem on Ninja Gaiden 2. And the weapon I'm going to be using is the Enma's Fang, and obviously that weapon wasn't in the previous game, but don't really need to discuss that since we're not playing that game. And you know, I need to talk about a strategy for how to beat the water dragon on this version of the game. So what you want to do is definitely, if you think you might die a couple of times, make sure you switch to the Enma's Fang before the cutscene interacts. If there's one thing I would really want in a new Ninja Gaiden game is, and they actually do this in Razor's Edge, whatever weapon you perish with is the one you start with. So I love that. So all we're doing, you could be pretty much invulnerable for this entire fight, but there are times when you may get hit, especially when the fish decide to grab you. So what I like to do here is just stand to the right and do a diagonal jump backwards and get my on landing charge, chain essence attacks with the Enma's Fang, and at level 1 it doesn't take away too much, but it takes away enough so that this is not an exercise in tedium. It's actually a really good strategy. And at some point in this fight I unequipped the Talisman of Rebirth because I figured to myself that there's just no way in hell I'm going to use that on this guy because he's so easy. See, going in here, unequipping it. And there are better times to hit him than others. Like when he's sticking his neck down and ready to spray, that's a great time to attack. But this is kind of a very careful dance you need to play here. And you know, sometimes you just have to release the charge, even though it's an undesirable moment when you might not hit him. There is like an instant death move he does with, yeah, that move right there. I think that's instant death. See, the Inferno's not too bad either, but I'm mostly using it for iframes. And when I see fish coming, I just release my charge immediately, and then the splash damage from the Enma's Fang kills them all. Or, well, it kills any stragglers in the distance. And then I could chain attacks and then keep doing this. It doesn't really require any great skill. You just kill enemies, hop to the right, get your on landing charges, and be completely invulnerable throughout this whole fight. Now right here, I had to use Nimpo because that would have killed me outright, that blast right there that he does. I could have hopped over to the left, but I was in this groove where I just wanted to stay right in this position and not move. So more fish, but they bit me. See this? So I got into a predicament here. I had to drop Nimpo, get these guys off me. And fortunately the boss didn't get too aggressive while I was struggling here. So, I mean, there are other ways to deal with him. You could shoot him. I think with the Howling Cannon, I think that's why they give it to you, but the Howling Cannon is so slow, and its aiming isn't the best either, so I just dispense with it. I don't even use it. I definitely prefer the Gatling spear gun to it. So it's nice that the fish, you know, it's nice that he has lackeys occasionally so you could charge essence attacks, but even so, I mean, you have ample time to do charges, even if it's not an on-landing charge necessarily. So he should be going down right over here, and then the next chapter is going to be the Lycanthrope's Castle, but we'll still be down in here in the Water Sanctuary. I want to thank everybody for watching.